Start a little early. It won't do any harm. It's just me tonight, I'm afraid. And as you can see, I have already started as well. We've had last minute plan changes this evening. We were planning for Anna to continue doing the this that she started on Friday. And we'll be continuing next week now. But she is working on a different project. It's very, very busy in Block Party Towers at the moment. So she's working on something else downstairs, which you'll see before the end of the week. And yeah, I'm here on my own and figured I'd take advantage of the fact I'm going to have the whole table in front of me to build this massive set, which, as you can see, is going to be enormous. I'm already about halfway through. This is the LEGO Insiders Fairground Collection Creator, not LEGO Insiders, the LEGO, I've just done a TikTok about LEGO Insiders. This is the LEGO Creator Expert Fairground Collection Ferris wheel that retired a while ago now. And this is the halfway point. So as you can see, this is where the axle of the wheel is going to be. So by the time all is said and done, it's going to be a big boy. And this is going to be front and center in the new fairground area of the Lego City. I have also ordered a big base plate to put it on so that I can Mills plate it up, which I'm hoping I should be able to do relatively easily once the big base plate arrives. It's 3 16 by 16 plates that way, 3 16 by 16 plates this way. So one of those big 48 by 48 base plates, it should fit on perfectly. And I've ordered a bunch of green tile as well, so that we can tile the whole thing out and get it on a big base plate. I did not know it was this big, but it is huge. What can I put next to it for some context? Here you go. Upscaled Santa minifigure for some context of how big this thing is going to be. There they are next to each other. There's Santa standing on the middle bit. So it's going to be at least up, like, it's going to be out of frame. It's going to be so big, which is awesome. And also it's going to be able to be fully motorized as well. I've ordered all the motors. There are a few bits and bobs. So we've got these wheels here, which are going to drive the mechanism. So you just turn that crank and you can see it turns those wheels, which will in turn rotate the thing. I've knocked a tree down. We're deforesting, boys and girls. This is no good at all. And then we've also got, let's turn it around this way. We've got this little mechanism here that makes the middle bit go up and down. Although it doesn't quite go down, but it makes it go up. It kind of gets stuck going down. But it's a very cool set. A really, really cool set. So I'm going to carry on building this because it is an older set as well. It wasn't just one big bag. It was 4 bags like this. It's a 2,500 piece set with just 4 bags. It's all pre-owned but sorted by Bricktraders. If you haven't seen the video from yesterday where we bought it, you won't have seen all of the shenanigans around how we purchased it. But this is bag 3. So a good old-fashioned step 3. That's a lot of Lego. Imagine that much Lego in one bag these days. Sammy, thank you very much for 13 months on the Wall of Fame, or in the party, in the channel membership. But I think the next step is building the wheel itself. So yeah, this is all wheel parts, I think. My word. Let me know in the chat anyway what you're going to be building along with us this evening. Because, or with me, I guess, as I am Annaless again. For those of you who missed the start, Anna is fine. She's not poorly again. She's actually downstairs currently working on a different project. We have a sponsored video coming out later in the week that needed it's an alternate brick brand. So Anna's official department. She is director of alternate bricks, as you know. So it's an alternate brick brand. And we received the set yesterday. It's nearly 4,000 pieces, and they want the review out before Black Friday. So we're on a very quick turnaround. She needs to really finish building it tonight if she can, so we can record the video tomorrow so that we can then send it for approval from the brand. So yeah, she just doesn't have time to be here because she is working on it. It does look like a very cool set though. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. And it's not the sort of thing she can build on stream because of the nature of how sponsored stuff works. The first look at it needs to be in its beautiful finished state. But yeah, she's very busy doing all of that. Right, this whole step, I'm basically doing 2 of these big wheels. Is that showing up right? Can we get closer? So 2 big wheels like that. So every step on this bit, I need to do twice. So we've done 1 little middle bit, and now we'll do another middle bit. Not asking much there. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's one of the things about working with brands, and obviously with it being Black Friday this week, all of a sudden we've got a lot of brands wanting to work with us this week. So I'm going out tomorrow. I'm out tomorrow filming with a different brand for a video for a TikTok that will be out later in the week. And then we've got, when I get home, we need to film the one that Anna's working on now. And then there's a third one, which I need to film. So tomorrow is all about brand work, which is cool. Weirdly, all 3 of them, largely TikTok brand work as well. They're more interested in TikTok than YouTube, all 3 of the brands we're working with this week. So that's the first time I've really noticed that obviously the TikTok account, I guess as far as Lego is concerned, our TikTok account is bigger than our YouTube account. So that's the one that brands want. So you won't see all of it here. It'll be TikTok and Instagram. And obviously we can talk about it on stream and stuff once it's happened. That was another delivery has just arrived. Do you need help? I've just put a TikTok out now. We've got 11 parcels arriving tomorrow. Largely from Lego. We had the first one today. This was 1 order. That's 3 big boxes. There's another 11 boxes from Lego coming tomorrow. From all that stuff that we ordered over the weekend. So, yeah. Poor old Anna tomorrow, after having spent 36 hours straight building a set, has to then lift 11 boxes into the house. It's fine. Any Spurs talk is banned. Why would we talk about Spurs? It's not nice to bully. I've had enough bullying that I've been on the receiving end of today. I don't need to bully Spurs. It's not their fault they're trash. It's not their fault they're not any good. It's not their fault the guy they spent all summer trying to sign scored a hat-trick against them. It's not their fault. We're not going to bully them, bless them. It's not nice to punch down. Have you emptied a particularly large bag of Lego? Yes. Yes, this is it's an older set. What year was this set even from? Does it say on the box? So this set is from 2015. So they had started doing the numbered bags, but there were only 4 numbered bags. So if you go much older than this, there's no numbered bags at all. But it's a 2,500 piece set that has just the 4 numbered stages. So lots of rummaging through pieces. It's why I'm doing this at this evening. Once we realised Anna wasn't going to be on, it became a bit of a no-brainer that we do this set, because I was halfway through doing it anyway. I was just trying to get it built ready for the next LEGO City update, because I want to be able to add one of the Fairground Collection to the city every week between now and Christmas. That's the plan, so that we can have like the theme park grand opening over the Christmas period. Oh God, I think she's just taken a big boots order. That I've just had the text saying that's what's arrived. That was 4 separate orders from Boots, all quite big, for 4 different females, one of which is her. So I hope it's not obvious what the parcel was. But yeah, she's just taken. That would have been some big parcels she's just received downstairs. Oh, where is the last piece? I know some of you are like, for goodness sake, sort the pieces, Kev. I ain't sorting the pieces. What do you think I am? This is part of the fun. This is the other bit I couldn't do with Anna here because it breaks her brain hearing all of the rummaging through Lego. But for me, this is, there you go. This is what childhood Lego was, rummaging through a big pile of Lego to see what we can see. Right, so we've got 2 of those. And now we're doing, right, hold on. So we're supposed to be doing 2 big wheels. And then we've got within this an instruction for 2. So I think I'm doing 4 of this next stage. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah, 4 of this next stage. It's very complicated. But as we plough through, I mean, I did the first half of it. That took me probably 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours yesterday. So it's conceivable we finish the whole set tonight. I don't think that's an unrealistic expectation. But a lot of it does rely on us finding all of the right pieces. 1998 was the year numbered bags were introduced. They weren't on everything though from that early, were they? Because Anna's got the was it Big Ben? She got the Creator Expert Big Ben, and I don't think that had any numbered bags in it. So that was a big complicated set with no numbered bags, which she wasn't best pleased about, because I think that was the first big set she'd done without numbered bags. I've done some of the older modulars that have very few, like those early modulars certainly don't have a lot. I think like the Fire Brigade, for example, I think that's the oldest official modular I've got. Was that the 4th one, the Fire Brigade? I think that only had two stages, downstairs, upstairs, maybe a third, because there are kind of 3 floors to it. But it was very much a case of build the whole of this floor, build the whole of the next floor. Whereas now you get like a little, I mean, I built that Darth Vader, that little Darth Vader thing that's like 600 bricks. I think that had like 8 bags that I built on the last stream. We've come a long way. I certainly think it is better the way it is now. I enjoy the combining of bricks a lot more than the rummaging through trying to find said bricks. But I know there are purists out there who like to have a big pile of Lego like this to rummage through. My response to that would be, nothing stopping you opening like 5 bags in one go, or all the bags in one go. I've had a few, whenever I talk about it in videos and stuff, I always get at least one person who says, yeah, I'm old school. I just, when I get a new set, I just empty all the bags out onto the table and crack on from there. I empty them all out into a big box and just crack on from there. Which, it's the work of a maniac. But it's the great thing about Lego. Everyone can do it their own way. Did you make yourself skint on double insider points weekend? Kinda, yeah. I mean, it certainly is a weekend we couldn't have done if we hadn't have just had a new Football Manager game. The only problem is I haven't actually, although I know how much money I will have made from that new game coming out, we haven't actually received any of it yet. So, yeah, temporarily skint, but knowing that it is only temporary, we will be fine. So, yeah, within a day or two, I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for YouTube to pay me. Can that money around? Yeah, Topher is, because me and Topher do a revenue share on the channel that he manages, one of the Football Manager channels that we've got. He is waiting as patiently as I am, i.e. not very patiently at all, as we await a chunk of pennies that's arriving to hopefully tomorrow. It's the thing with YouTube, they never actually are completely specific about when you're going to get paid. But me and Topher should be paid tomorrow, I think. I hope. All right. I held back from buying anything. Still annoyed I got markets in August when it was £100 off. I mean, I think it's difficult to be that annoyed about getting a deal on a set. Like there are sets when I look back over the course of the year, which I might do, might review everything we've bought this year and work out if we got the best price on it. That might be quite an interesting video. More than anything else, it illustrates the point I am in the process of making, that you're never going to win every time. If you try and, I mean, it almost becomes like gambling. If you only want the sets when they're at their absolute lowest price, you are then running the risk of not getting them at all, because there's no way of knowing when the best price was until after it's happened, with a few notable exceptions. Like sometimes if the best price is the last one, you can be pretty confident you're getting it at the best price. Like I'm pretty confident I got Ninjago City Markets at the best price it ever would have been possible to get it for. So I'm pretty pleased with that. But then on the flip side of that, I bought Diagon Alley in July, August time, just before it went on a massive discount with double points for Back to Hogwarts. I also paid full price for Lion Knight's Castle back in January because I just couldn't wait any longer. So there's definitely plenty of stuff I've overpaid for over the course of the year. No purchases this weekend. What did everyone get? We should probably talk about that. How did everybody's weekends go? Did everyone get what they wanted? I was surprised, being in the UK, and this is no consolation at all to any Americans watching, I'm sure, but I was surprised when I woke up on Saturday morning, having stayed up late on Friday night to get my purchases in. I was very surprised on Saturday morning when I got up at like 8:30 and I think everything was still available at that point. It wasn't for much longer. It very quickly, I think the Disney Castle was the first thing to go. And then they started dropping like flies from there and everything was going out. But yeah, there was, certainly in the UK, there was plenty of opportunity for people to get any sets that they wanted on the Insiders deal, which I guess is good. I don't know, a few people are like, oh, does that mean the bubbles burst? Are people not as interested now? I don't think it was that. Hold on, I'm getting myself confused here. What have I done? Have I made an error? No, we're good. Yeah, I think maybe people just didn't want to be up late, or maybe there was a lot of stock, because it did largely go out of stock eventually. Holding off on buying anything, waiting for the Enterprise. I'm in two minds about whether or not I'm going to go to the Lego store on Friday. I'm certainly not going to buy it. I've got no interest in buying it. But I am interested in a potential trip to the Lego store to look at the Trekkies. Go Trekkie watching. Just to see what we can... What am I doing here? I feel like I'm getting myself all confuddlerized. Yeah, we've got a bottom piece missing. That's why. Oh, there's so many of these. There were so many of these pieces, and now we're down to the last couple, and they kind of all blend in. Okay. Probably the UK economy isn't doing very well. A few people said that, but that's certainly not a uniquely UK thing. I think the whole world is having a cost of living thing going on at the moment. But also, I don't think the UK immediately got super rich by Saturday lunchtime when everything was sold out. So if it had been nobody could afford it, then they wouldn't have all sold out when they did. They didn't sell out at midnight this time. But pretty much everything, if you look on the website now, because all the discounted prices are still on there, but pretty much all of the big headline sets are gone. So I don't think it's I don't think it's that people couldn't afford it. I think Lego as a hobby probably skews towards people with more disposable income anyway, because it's pretty expensive to do, just in general. Right, so it's that way round. Should measure the size of some of these new sets using as a measure of distance your favourite minifigure. I don't know that I have a favourite minifigure. I guess it's maybe my little custom one from the Lego house, maybe. But I'm not really a minifigure guy. Right, I need one more of these little red jobbies. Come on, red jobby, where are you? This is where a little bit of clear colour vision would help. There it is. Hide him. And then we need the shorter grey ones. Lego's definitely Moneybags FC. Yeah, exactly. Maybe we're just polite in the UK and we're letting everyone who wanted the sets for themselves buy before the scalpers got involved. Let's apply that narrative to it. All the scalpers were like, you know what, you can have 9 hours and then we're coming for you. You've got until breakfast. I'm not staying up late, but I am doing my thing in the morning. So if you want what you want, you stay up at midnight and you get it. And then anything that's left over at 9 o'clock is fair game for Scalpy Magoo. The politest scalpers around in the UK. That's what we've got. What do I do for a living? I am a content creator. A lot of people go into debt for Lego Black Friday sales. Yeah, that's not recommended. I would recommend against doing that. Going into debt for Lego is generally not something I would encourage. He says, knowing full well he's done it himself many times, but I do it in a deliberate and managed way. Like at the moment, all the sets I bought at the weekend, I've been stuck on a credit card, but that's on the basis of I know I'm getting paid like today or tomorrow. And it's money that is ring fenced for buying Lego. It was always the plan. There's Lego money coming. Oh, my watch battery's about to die. It obviously didn't charge up last night. That's annoying. Right, I need to find the right size one of these. There's so many different sizes of these little black dowels. And I need 6 of this size of them. This reminds me of getting my GCSE in Technic Lego, doing this. Hunting for specific little pieces. How old is the Ferris wheel? It's about 10 years since it first came out. I don't know a specific date on this particular one, but it's in very good condition. I don't know how, because I got it from Bricktraders, I don't know how much of it is original pieces and how much it is pieces they've swapped out or replace missing pieces, because when they get a used set like this, they go through, they check them all. This isn't an ad, but they like swap out broken and discoloured pieces and added any pieces that are missing. So it's had the Bricktraders treatment. So I don't know how much of it is completely original, but as ever, it doesn't bother me at all. I just want it to look cool in the city. I need one more of these. I suspect it's the only other one. There's so many different sizes of them as well. Anna's having to have a break because her back is sore. Right, let's put these ones in so that I can make sure we do actually need another one. A lot of marketing for Bricktraders. I mean, I'm just describing the process. It's not really marketing, is it? That's where I got it from. And they are great. So I want them to succeed. I mean, they've been there 10 years. They're succeeding regardless of my help. But I have no issue at all with talking about how great an independent small business is. I go to the Lego shop and Smith's Toys and all these other places all the time. And people don't call it marketing for them. Every time I talk about a Lego set, I'm effectively marketing for Lego, aren't I? I certainly don't have an issue with marketing for a little small business who are providing a really cool service, allowing me to get hold of sets like this without having to gamble buying them on eBay. That being said, obviously, advertising disclosure, they did give me a discount on this set as a thank you for making the video, so feel free to judge me if you want to judge me. Is that right? Is that... No, that's too long. Ah! Right, there is a shorter one than this somewhere. I hate it. Where is it? Where are you, you silly, silly thing? I'm going to have to go through and actually sort these, aren't I? Right, I'm taking out all the ones that are too big. And I'm going to put them all together somewhere. And then if I find the short straw, I know it's the one I'm looking for. Because these are all the same size. And there is one that's going to be a little bit shorter. Unless, of course, we're about to out their quality control as not completely perfect. Can you imagine? After saying all those nice things. And then we realise there's a piece missing. There it is. We don't have to out their quality control. It's my bag emptying that was wrong. Am I going to sell on my gift of purchase from this weekend? I don't know. I don't have an immediate plan to. That's not to say I won't ever, but what we've done with stuff like that in the past, we've used a few for giveaways, we've used them for gifts, like IRL gifts for friends and family and whatnot. So, I don't know. There might be one or two that end up on eBay eventually, and it won't necessarily be with a view to wanting to scalp. It's more a case of if we get to the point where this room gets too full again, then we'll probably sell some stuff again like we have done before. But yeah, it wasn't really a case of wanting to get a load of them so I could sell them on and make loads of money. It was more a case of making sure I got what I'm owed, the amount of money that we spent on Friday night. I want to maximise all my freebies because it's what I'm due based on what I spent. But yeah, it wasn't done to specifically make loads of money. What are the boxes behind me? That's the first part of the Insiders Weekend order. Once everything's here, I'll do a haul video. But it's not all here yet. It won't even all be here tomorrow. The Gringotts hasn't even left the warehouse yet. Almost everything else is shipped, and as you can see, one of them has already arrived. But worryingly, Gringotts still hasn't left the warehouse, so I am expecting the dreaded cancellation email on that one, which would be upsetting because there's quite a few I would be more comfortable with them cancelling than Gringotts, because Gringotts is something I really want for the city, especially now I've got Hogsmeade Station and we're doing a little Harry Potter area. I really want Gringotts in the Diagon Alley area. And it's never going to be this cheap again. It retires in July. So I will be a little bit miffed if they cancel it. Although, I mean, I noticed it's on back order until after Christmas now. So it's not that it's completely out of stock. So if they end up delaying it and I don't get it until January, I'm not as bothered about that. As long as I eventually get it at that price with those double points. I will definitely be motorising the wheel. I've already ordered the motors. I went on, because I got the the mixer as well on Friday. I went on Bricklink over the weekend and ordered all of the stuff you need to motorise both of these sets. I've already got the Haunted House motorised. I've already got the motors for the loop coaster that I've had for as long as I've had the loop coaster. So by the time we get the 4 big rides in the city, all 4 should be motorised, and I am much happier motorising than I am using light kits. I hate light kits. I love moving parts. Motorising is cool. So yeah, we should have all 4 of the big rides that we've got in there before the end of the year motorised. And then we just need to pick up the last couple, the other roller coaster and the carousel. I'm not going to get the grand carousel because it's too expensive and I don't need 2 carousels. And then just fill it in with some of the smaller ride sets that we've got. And that whole theme park area will be pretty much done fairly soon and will look very, very cool. Of that, I am certain. Alright, so that goes on that piece. Got our Gringotts today waiting for Lion Nights and the Cullen House. My Cullen House comes tomorrow, I think. I think everything apart from Gringotts comes tomorrow. I saw you going into Bricktraders on the weekend, waving crazy at you. I mean, I hope it wasn't the weekend because I was in there on Friday. So if you saw someone in there over the weekend, it wasn't me and they now think you're a maniac. But yeah, I guess Friday is sort of the weekend. I'm building at Alpine Lodge. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Managed to pick up the upscale Santa on Saturday in store. None on the shelf. Then an employee slyly put one down. Nice. Did I do standard or express shipping? Standard. I'm very surprised with how quickly they've sorted everything. When I do a normal order, they don't come this quickly usually. So clearly they made a decision to get a whole bunch of people in doing some overtime and make sure that they didn't leave any of the orders hanging around. Yes, Block Party does have a Discord. It should be down in the description. So feel free to jump on the Discord. I missed out on Snow White due to lack of money, but found Home Alone for 166 online. That's another one. That's awesome. Is that for a new set? Or is that like an eBay price? I mean, I've already got it. I do need to rebuild it because I destroyed it with a light kit. Right, we've got to do 24 of these little bits that I'm doing now. I was warned about this set that it can be a bit repetitive, and I hadn't found it doing all this. I guess we're now at the repetitive stage. So it's probably for the best that I'm streaming this bit, because I think if I was sat here on my own doing a repetitive bit, it might break me. It arrives tomorrow. Most of my orders wouldn't have shipped yet. Yeah, I know. When I do a normal order, they're never this quick. Like I say, I think they've deliberately decided just to get stuff out quick. To not mess around. Brand new box damage. That is my favourite kind of online deal. Anna is an expert at finding those for me because she knows I don't care at all about boxes. We've got some very cool stuff at some pretty decent discounts by being happy to take box damaged stuff. Which is awesome. What have I done wrong here? Nothing, I don't think. I think we're good. Land Rover construction crane arrives tomorrow plus gifts with purchase. Nice. Did you get Ninjago City Market? I did. When will I be building it? Goodness knows. I'm kind of focused on the fairground stuff for now. And then we've got a week away, mid-December, and then it's Christmas. So whether I get to build it before Christmas or not, we shall see, I guess. It might be something that I just sit and do over the festive period. I want to get it into the city ASAP. But yeah, obviously with the amount of sets we ordered for Insiders Weekend, we're going to have quite a lot of backlog. So there's going to be quite a long period of me just working through that. How did you ruin your Winter Village sets? Oh, light kits. Yeah, it's the two that I put the light kits in last year. Because you have to take a lot of pieces out to put the light kits in. I wanted to take the light kits out. They all fell apart. And then I went to rebuild them. I wasn't a complete maniac. I went to rebuild Alpine Lodge, and the very first piece in the instructions was missing. And it's like, oh, for goodness sake. There's pieces missing. There's pieces that have been, that are all sticky and horrible because they had light kit stuff attached to them. So I've just put all the pieces in my big tub. They will get sorted out eventually, along with all the other pieces that need sorting. But in the only way they were going to get in the Winter Village this year was if I replaced the sets. So I've replaced the sets. And eventually, theoretically, in amongst all our storage, if we ever get around to sorting our parts, and I think realistically, it won't be something we ever do until we decide to start a Bricklink store or hire somebody to come and do it for us eventually. When we've got a big studio, we might hire an assistant to do the stuff we don't like doing, like sorting and reverse building and stuff like that. It's not outside the realms of possibility for one day that we have someone doing that kind of role. But it does mean that eventually we have got two of those two sets now, so we could make a bigger version, or maybe put a back on, make a little modular version. Be quite cool. But yeah, for this year, I just wanted to get them in the Winter Village, because they are both very nice sets, and I've learnt my lesson. I will not be messing around with light kits again. I just do not enjoy the process. The other one that light kits have ruined is the Home Alone house, but I can't afford to just buy a new one of those. So Home Alone house will get fixed when it gets fixed. It might not be this year. I just might not have time. But eventually that'll just go in the city anyway. It's not really something that's going to be a Winter Village essential. That will go in the city. Right, I now need to make 6 of these. And of course we're doing that twice as well. So it's 12 of these long sticks. So let's get a little production line going. 1. It is huge. I did not realise how big this is. This is why the Fairground Collection stuff is so cool. Because obviously I've got the little Ferris wheel in the city already, the little Create 3-in-1 one. And there were a few people when I said I wanted this one who were like, you've already got a Ferris wheel. Why do you need another one? Because this thing's massive. And this is going to be like a... I talked about it in the... Anyone who's on the Patreon would have already seen the latest LEGO City update. The rest of you won't see it until tomorrow. But I talk in that video about how I want like an L-shaped viewing angle of really cool skyline stuff where we have all the skyscrapers and then all of the big fairground stuff. But we're going to have a really cool skyline backdrop thing at the back of the city that's going to have a big, like, London Eye style big wheel, a couple of massive roller coasters. It's just going to look so cool. And it'll all be moving. And I am very excited. Kev hibernates for Christmas. Yeah. I don't have the powered up bits yet. They are on the way from Bricklink. How much did I pay for this set? It was £209. They did give me a discount, but I don't think it's fair to them to tell you how much of a discount I got. It's enough for you to know I got a discount because I made a video, but I don't want people going in there and saying, you gave Kev X amount off. I want X amount off as well. So yeah, that was the list price, which I would have happily paid. But when I got to the till, they were like, oh, we're gonna knock some off for you as a thank you, which was very nice of them. And as I said in the videos, it's not something we expect. When I told them I was coming, it wasn't on the agreement that they gave me some discounts off sets or anything. But It's not something I'm going to say, oh no, I'll definitely pay full price. Please let me pay more. If they offer me a discount, I'm going to take the discount. I like a discount. Are we doing any Christmas streaming on Boxing Day or Christmas Day? Probably not. I don't know. What day of the week are they? I got the Lego motors, but second-hand ones because they're retired. You can't buy the actual ones anymore. So that goes on there. Is that right? Yeah. And then like that. 2 questions. Will you stream on Christmas Day? And will I still build the tree? I doubt we'll stream on Christmas Day. It really depends on what we do over Christmas. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a chance we'll have done Christmas before then, so it will just be a normal day and I might be bored and I might stream anyway. But I won't make any promises about anything like that at the moment. The Christmas tree I'm doing as a TikTok/Instagram series. It's going to be done as an advent calendar. It's 24 bags. So I'm going to do a bag a day throughout Advent. So that will start on Monday, first bag. Christmas Day is a Thursday. If Christmas Day is a Thursday, then we won't be streaming because I don't stream on a Thursday. If anything, I'd be more likely to stream Football Manager. Boxing Day on Friday, I think there's a very good chance we'll stream Boxing Day. But like I say, I'm not going to make any promises. As far as Christmas content goes, that festive period, it's very much, we'll see how we feel. We'll play it by ear. We don't know what we're going to be invited to, when and where yet. Although we're going away before Christmas and we've got a meal before Christmas and we'll have done most of our family obligation stuff before Christmas even kicks off. That's not to say we won't get an invite to go to some family's house. Some family, probably our family. But it's not to say an element of the family won't invite us round for a Boxing Day buffet or something like that. So I'm not going to commit myself to work stuff at this stage. PS5 Portal is worth every penny. Right, talk to me about the PS5 Portal while Anna's not here, because it's on her Christmas list. And when that first came out, I had one pre-ordered and she talked me out of getting it because she said it was rubbish. And I, as a result, have not followed it at all. So I know nothing about it. Is it actually good now? Because she wants one. And it certainly wouldn't be the worst idea to get her one. Because at the moment, when we go away to like the cabin in the woods or places like that, she takes her massive Premier League footballer suitcase that's got, it's like a padded cushioned area to put the PS5 in with a built-in monitor, and it's this massive case that fills half the boot. If you're telling me she could have a handheld that does that same job, that she can stick in her backpack when we go away, and she can bring on the cruise, and she can use on a plane, then I'm interested. But if it's something that I think the reason she talked me out of it is because at the time, all it did was stream from the PS5. So you needed the PS5 to be on and you needed to be near it. And it was like, well, it kind of defeats the purpose then. But if you can, I'm interested. I'm interested if it's actually good. And will she actually want it and use it? There are some big sets I do want for Christmas. I think we all want big sets for Christmas, don't we? You could always do a YouTube short on Boxing Day of what's your favourite design of Lego. But I mean, don't worry, there'll be content. It just won't necessarily be live. This channel is an integral part of our business now. And we've done daily content pretty much all year. There was a couple of days around the Football Manager launch where we might have let that slip a smidgen because I was so busy with Football Manager. But there's also been plenty of days where we've put out more than one piece of content. It's not necessarily a full stream or a full YouTube video, but at the very least you get a TikTok or a short or something like that. There's always something going on. So yeah, there'll be content. The question was, are we going to stream? I don't know that we'll stream over Christmas, but there'll definitely be content. I imagine there'll be shorts / TikToks, if not a full YouTube video, on Christmas Day showing my Christmas haul. I think I did that last year. PS5 portals are hand. Yeah, I know what they are, but is it good? Any second-hand Lego shops in Birmingham City Centre you know about? No. And if there are any, please let me know about them, because I'm in Birmingham this weekend. I'm there for Comic-Con. And it's like our traditional start to the Christmas period. My youngest offspring is coming with me. And we're going to go to Comic-Con, have a mooch around there, and then jump on the train and head into the centre of Birmingham, do the Christmas market, go to the Lego store. She'll want to walk around Waterstones because she's very, very bookish. And we'll probably have a mooch around in the big Primark and all that stuff. We're doing Birmingham at the weekend, me and Amy. So, yeah, if there's an independent Lego store there, I'm well up for that. Right, that's 12 of them done. So now we need to attach them to this. And this is where it starts to get more complicated, because I need to make sure we're getting, I think that's correctly rotated. Right, so that goes on there. Yeah. Oh, this is so big. Steam Deck is the best handheld. Yeah, I might agree. I'm not sure I mean, I've got a Steam Deck and I've got a Switch 2, and I love them both, and they do different things. So I'm beyond the console wars stuff now. I don't need there to be a best handheld, but Anna is very much a PlayStation girl. So she would love to be able to play her PlayStation out and about. Please tell us about the Christmas markets, particularly if it's busy on a Saturday. Yes, it will be busy on a Saturday. I've been there every year for the last 10 years. It'll be horrifically busy on Saturday, it always is. But it's also lovely and Christmassy. There'll be a video on the vlog channel. There'll probably be a couple of videos off the back of Saturday. One from Comic-Con and one from our adventures in Birmingham. So there's all crumbs. I keep knocking this tree down. Right, that's one of those. And now I need to do t'other one. So I need to, again, correctly rotate this bad boy. There we go. Is that your inside? It's part of my insiders haul, yes. The rest's coming tomorrow. As soon as it's all here, I'll do a haul video. Switch is very limited, Nintendo games are limited. Strong disagree. They're just different. We don't all need super duper graphics and fancy stuff. Some of the best games ever have been Switch games. Just because they're not necessarily the games you enjoy doesn't make them limited. Nintendo, there is no games company out there more creative and able to do more with less than Nintendo. They're a magical company. And I love my Switch. And it's fine to like everything. PS5 Portal is worth the money. It all depends on Wi-Fi. But also works on hotspot. Everyone has their own opinions. But for my 11-year-old son, he would love it. That's awesome. I think I'm tempted. So you have to be online to use it. It is just streaming. But you don't have to stream from the PS5, do you? Alright. Where can I put these out of the way while I do the next bit? 'Cause I now need to do 12 of the next thing. Where's my beverage? Yeah, the super quick delivery from Lego. We've got another 11 boxes coming tomorrow. So when I do the haul, it will be my usual criticism of, I love Lego. However, goodness me, do they murder some trees. Because if I've placed 7 orders, why does that have to come in 14 boxes? Most of which have at least 2 more layers of box within the box. Like this big box will have a ready to ship box inside of it. And inside of that will be the box that the Lego set is in. And I get, for people who love their boxes, they love all that because it keeps everything perfect. There should be a question when you're ordering. Do you care more about box condition or rainforests? Because I do not need all this cardboard. Quite apart from anything else, even if I didn't care at all about all of the trees being murderized, I've got to get rid of all this cardboard. I'm going to have to do a special trip to the recycling centre because there's too much of it to fit in my bin. So yeah, I'd happily go for less boxes. I know it's a weird question, but did I get the city tower? It's not a weird question at all. And yes, I did. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I don't think it will really fit into the city anywhere. There don't appear to be any rebrickables on it. I wonder if it might combine nicely with the central train station that came out at the same time that look quite similar. So I wonder if maybe we can come up with something off the back of that. Or it might just go on display in here because it is a cool celebration of everything I love about Lego City. It's got so many of my favourite sub-themes on it. But ironically, for the thing that celebrates Lego City, I don't think there's a place for it in my Lego City. Which sounds like the ramblings of a maniac. But I think that might be the case. I love double boxed. I have some orders just been shipped and ready to ship boxes and that were damaged. Yeah, see, I just don't care. Like this one's just a ready to ship box. It's fine. Just stick it all in a bag as far as I'm concerned. As long as the bags are labelled, I don't even need the boxes. The less cardboard that comes into my house, the better. But I realise I'm very much in the minority with that. You should put the Muppets on the Ferris wheel. I am one step ahead of you there. I already have 2 complete sets of the Muppets that are up to various shenanigans around the city. I was sat there last night looking at buying a 3rd set of Muppets because I don't want to move the Muppets from where they are at the moment. I just love having Muppets everywhere. I like the idea of having loads of pop culture references all over the theme park. So I think I've got so many Star Wars and Batman and little Ninjago minifigures that have come off magazines, Jurassic World. So I think we're definitely going to have Batman and the Joker on here. We'll definitely have some Muppets. We'll probably get some Simpsons. There'll be a Darth Vader. Darth Vader and Luke maybe will be on there together, hanging out, having a lovely father and son day. But yeah, there's going to be some cool stuff, not just on the Ferris wheel, but all over the theme park. We're going to have minifigs galore. Galore. Yoink. Kev, it's a little known fact that managed forests with tree felling are able to process more CO2. I don't want to get into a discussion about chopping down trees. It's one of those topics where no one's ever going to agree. It goes in the same category as religion and politics, and there are some things that people just have their minds made up on. And I'm as guilty of this as anybody. There are some things that people have their minds made up on, and there is nothing you can do or say to change their mind. It just leads to arguments. I don't want to fall out with any of you. The way I see it, and I've never looked into it any more detailed than this, but from a very simplistic point of view, I cannot see how there could possibly be a scenario where using more cardboard is better than using less cardboard. That just seems to flow logically, but we're not discussing it because I'm not going to change my view. You're not going to change your view. Let's just not talk about it and be friends. Get tall neck walking around the city. I don't think Anna will be on board with me taking her favourite set. And I assume it's probably quite expensive to buy on the resale market now. was about to say, I'm surprised part of your insider's order is already here, but I've just checked and mine's due tomorrow. Yeah, I've got loads coming tomorrow. They've been very quick with it all. I guess when they're processing that many orders, I guess they've had people in over the weekend who maybe wouldn't normally be in processing orders. Right, that's the first 6 of those. Now we need to do another 6 of those. One of my GWPs came in the same box as my Bowser, and because I carried it home the wrong way, without me knowing, the Bowser box crushed the GWP box. Oh no. At least it wasn't the other way around. I hear Grungot's Bank is retiring in June, not at the end of the year. Yeah, next summer. I think it's July rather than June, which is weird because you would think it would be June. But I'm sure the list I saw has it down for the end of July, which is over halfway through the year, which is odd. Obviously, with stuff like that, it's all always subject to change. Like this time last year, Orient Express was still scheduled to go at the end of July, but that was pushed back to the end of the year, which is why it's still available now. So stuff can shift around. A lot of it will depend on stock levels and manufacturing runs they've got planned, or manufacturing runs they still want to do. So yeah, at the moment, nothing is more than penciled in. Until you actually get to the point where LEGO announce them, they're all always subject to change. So, but then on the flip side of that, all we can do is work with the information we've got. And the information we've got is, at the moment, the intention is it retires in July. How am I getting this to the city in one piece? I've ordered a big base plate and I'm going to put it on a Mills plate. And then once it's on a Mills plate, I'm going to put it in. I've got a big plastic tub over there, which I'm going to put it in. I got Avengers Tower to that studio in one piece. So it will be fine once it's on a Mills plate. I would not want to move it not on a Mills plate. And I was going to do the Mills plate in advance, but I didn't actually know what the base was going to be like. It wasn't clear from the instructions. So I figured if I build it, because it's on base plates, it's on the big 16 by 16s. It is now 48 by 48. It's clear what it is. It should be relatively easy to just pop it onto a Mills plate. So I just need that to arrive. Do I like the new Bricklink designer sets? What, the ones that have just been announced? What is that, Series 9? Yes, I think it's awesome. I think it's the best series they've done. The one that's all buildings, I think, is incredible. I want all 5 of them, which is frustrating. There needs to be some I don't really want, so I don't bankrupt myself. But yeah, that series looks really cool, which is weird because a lot of people have said they don't like it. What am I reading now? Oh, I'm so tempted to be a Wang. I'm reading your question in the chat. That is my literal brain kicking in. And I apologise profusely. I'm on the 3rd book of Wheel of Time. And I'm simultaneously listening to... I'm on to the 3rd book of Dungeon Crawler Carl, which I did start reading, but everyone told me, no, you have to listen to it. The audiobook's fantastic. And I can confirm the audiobook's fantastic. So I've been listening to that in the car and whilst dogging and stuff. But I'm reading Wheel of Time, which is also very good. I'm enjoying them both. Although 3 books into Wheel of Time, which I think is a 15-book series, as much as I'm enjoying it, I am getting to the point, and anyone who's read it, I assume, has probably been through a similar thing. I'm towards the end of the 3rd book, and it feels like I've now had 3 very similar books that start with all the characters together, split them all up, make them all walk somewhere for quite a long time, or ride a horse somewhere for quite a long time, and then towards the end of the book, they all meet back up in the same place again for the grand finale. And I still don't really know what the overarching story is 3 books in. And it feels quite formulaic. So as much as I'm enjoying it, I don't know if I can do another 12 versions of that. So it pretty soon needs to offer up something a little bit different than that very basic group of people, split up group of people. Individuals from within the group all go on a journey, but somehow end up in the same place. Everyone's together at the end. Thumbs up. it stops doing that shortly. Good. Because it's, yeah, I feel like, yeah, I get it. I understand what's going on at the moment. I don't understand the grand overall story. I don't know what a wheel of time is. But yeah, it feels almost a little bit Lord of the Ringsy at the moment. The big arch is the end of the world battle and how each of the main characters plays a part. Yeah, but I'm now, like I say, I'm nearly 3 books in and I'm thinking, okay, are we going to get on with that then? Or are we going to have another 12 books of everyone gets split up, everyone has to get back together again. Look, here they are. Next book, split them all up again. Because it feels like, okay, I don't usually look at the map when I'm reading fantasy books. I'm almost at the point now where I feel like I don't have to look at the map because some of these places we've been to so many times. It's like, all right, yeah, I get it. I know who's where. Can we crack on? You're nowhere near that. Well, yeah, I assumed the end would be at the end. But I need it to change. I need it to become a little less formulaic, or I'm not sure I'm going to make it through the whole thing. What I might do is at the end of these 3, I might just give it a rest for a bit and then do it in chunks of 3. Because I think as little trilogies, I could probably do it over the course of a few years quite happily. As long as I mix it up with some other stuff. I just don't think I could do 15 in a row of that same formula. Even though it's very well written and the characters are awesome. So I don't want to drop it. Horrocks Watch, thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate the content. I have 3 modulars now. Awesome. Which 3 modulars do you have? That's very cool. Oh, cool. Right. Where does this go? And how does it go? On like that? No. Like... Oh, Gordon Bennett. Ah! No! It's flimsy! Don't be flimsy. Is that how it's supposed to be? Yeah. Okay. I can do that. On the audiobook, Robert Jordan does an interview explaining. Okay. Is that best listened to after you've read the whole thing? Is it going to be spoilery? Because I don't want spoilers. Like I say, I'm sure I will finish it and I am enjoying it. This does look like an amazing set and it does look like it's going to be huge. I thought I'd seen it built somewhere at some point, but I do not remember it being this big. But I mean, look at it. It's enormous. It's not going to fit underneath our overhead rig thing that the microphone's on. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it as it starts to get bigger. I'm not going to be able to keep it all in frame. Okay. And it's going to look so cool in the background of the city. I know there are a few people on the city stuff who are a little bit anti-theme park. They don't get the obsession with the rides, and I kind of get it based on the ones that I've got in there at the moment. I think once they see this smack bang in the middle of the city, looking cool, overlooking everything, they'll be like, okay, I get it now. I understand the whole theme park vision. Loving the content. You've been my favourite LEGO YouTubers to watch. Your Sherlock modular inspired me to buy it yesterday during Insiders Weekend. Nice. No spoilers. He just explains how he came up with the concept of Wheel of Time. Okay. It looks like it's the same size as Captain America's shield. Yeah, it probably is. Looking at it, it probably is. Right. Now we've got to do 8 of these next ones. It's very repetitive. That is worth pointing out. I'm on the last couple of bags of Lion Knight's Castle, best set ever made. Completely agree. Some of the build techniques used in Lion Knight's Castle are incredible. It's a wonderful set. Wonderful. And it looks fantastic as well. But it's just such a cool build. Right. There you go. And then we need some more of these. So we're doing the first 4, then we'll do the other 4. Is that the same? Yep. John Lewis has dropped some reductions. Yeah, they've dropped the modulars back down again, haven't they? You know how John Lewis liked to be opposite land? I think they've price matched Lego is what's actually happened. Lego's the worst for FOMO. I never wanted the Line Knights Castle as I collect boats and sea theme sets, but now it's retiring. I feel like I've missed out. Yeah, it does do that to you. Yeah, it's important to hold firm on the sets that you're not really into. It's why I feel very fortunate that I'm not into Star Wars, because it saves me a fortune, both in terms of money and display space. To the point where it almost feels like, okay, if you're into Star Wars, you can't really be into anything else as well. I kind of get why so many people only care about Star Wars, because there's so much of it and it's so big. If you're gonna get those big UCS sets, that's your house full of Lego then. There's not really much else you can get. We're doing the same things again here. We've just done these. These are exactly the same, I think. I'm sure there's a difference I've not noticed. Unfortunately, I have Line Knights Castle, but I haven't built it yet, and I have it still in the box ever since it came out. You should build it. It's so cool, but it is big. I've been wanting to get more into the moving parts Technic builds. I wonder if anyone has made a pirate ship that moves like it's floating. I've seen one at conventions. There definitely are projects like that have been done. I've only got one Star Wars set and then moved into modulars and city sets. I feel like price to piece has been better for modulars. Oh yeah, definitely. With the Star Wars stuff and the Marvel stuff, just to make sure it's not an anti-Star Wars rant, because I love the Marvel stuff and I've got loads of it. But with any of the licensed stuff, a big chunk of what you're paying for with the set is the license. So Lego's own stuff is always better value. What Lego set is top of my Christmas list? It's difficult to say, because I'm annoying and buy all the sets that I want. So I have no idea. Anna says she's got me loads of Lego, and I'm like, what could you possibly have got me? I'm really interested to see what she's got me. Obviously, I want the retired modulars that I don't already have. And there's some big white whale sets that I wouldn't expect her to get me because they're too expensive. But yeah, there's loads of really cool little Lego City sets, Creator 3 and older Creator 3-in-1 things. Lots of really cool retired bits and bobs that I don't have, that I would class as just my kind of sets. Anna knows what I like, and she knows what I've got. So I trust her to have hunted some stuff out that I won't even know exists, but will be awesome. Are you going to have mascots in the theme park? I mean, we've got that new CMF series coming out in January, haven't we? Of minifigs in animal costumes. So maybe we'll just scatter them all over it. They'd be quite cool, I think. Oh, that's the wrong piece. I managed to get Lion Knight's Castle, would now love a siege encampment to go with it. Is there a best place for retired Bricklink? I've never been to conventions. Yeah, conventions will have loads of Bricklink stuff. Yeah, conventions. I think they had a siege encampment at one of the shops I went to. I forget. Did I see one last week? I'm not sure if I did. I went to a couple of independent Lego shops last week. But yeah, online, there's lots of places that you can grab the stuff from. It just can be a little bit hit and miss. Something like that, I think you probably want brand new in box. So you're probably safe with eBay or conventions. I've still got mine up there sealed that is going to come out eventually once I properly do a medieval area, because it is very cool. The black pearl is probably bad value in the price to piece ratio, super worth it though. On the other end, Rivendell seems like great value. Rivendell is a set that even as someone who's not into Lord of the Rings, I kind of want, because it does look fantastic. To the point where I'm almost tempted to force myself to try again with Lord of the Rings, because Rivendell I think retires not next year, the year after, so I've got a little bit of time. But at some point in that period, I think I am going to try and force myself one more time to like Lord of the Rings, because I really want an excuse to own Rivendell. I don't particularly want Barad-dûr or that weird little hobbit village, but I really want Rivendell. Hopefully it'll just be, there'll be a point where it has more than a 15% discount. Because that's what it gets every time there's a sale on Amazon. It gets 15% off, and even at 15% off, it's still too much. I need it to be like 30% off, and then I'll probably just take the plunge and not worry about the license. Similar to what I've done with the Cullen House. I've bought that now because it was like 130 quid with the discounts and the double points. In fact, it was even less than that with double points, I think. And with the gift of purchase as well. It's like, well, I don't care about Twilight as a theme, but it is a cool looking building, and at that price I can justify it. I need Rivendell to go for a similar thing. Alright. I was at an open house yesterday and it turns out they were a Lego fan. They had Rivendell, Barad-dûr, Daily Bugle, Avengers Tower and the Hogwarts Castle. Wow. That is quite the collection. There's a house we drive past to get back when we're driving through our estate to get back to our house. There's a house where they have their upstairs curtains open sometimes, and you see in there, and they've got a big Lego room. So if you've ever seen someone driving past your house, I think that looks like Kevin and Anna. We might live around the corner from you, and we do look at your Lego room through the window. Genuinely, Rivendell has been my most exciting build to date. So much fun, but not a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. No idea where the minifigs have gone. Nice. I know we can't talk about it, but how do you feel about the new Stranger Things set? We can talk about it. We're not Lego ambassadors. We can talk about it. I don't really care. I don't watch Stranger Things. I did talk about it a little bit in the Bricktraders video that came out yesterday. If we've learned anything from what happened with the Simpsons sets when Krusty Burger came out this year, I would say anyone who's been on the fence looking for a deal on that retired Stranger Things set, I think it is a fair bet to say that the moment the new one comes out, the price on the old one is going to shoot up, and it will take a long time to come back down again. It's already one of the most sought after sets people ask for in my convention videos. So I suspect it's going to have a huge knock-on effect on that set. So if you've been waiting for that set, you might want to crack on before Christmas, because I think it ain't getting any cheaper anytime soon, I don't think. Right, we now need to make a gazillion of these little link bits to complete our circle. Wondered who that was driving past my house looking through my window. Hi! Me and my wife love Lord of the Rings. If there's one theme I'd branch out into, it would be that. Problem is all those retired sets are insanely priced. Yeah, I mean, I don't particularly want anything other than Rivendell. I think Rivendell just looks great. But I know it's very hard once you start a theme to be like, I'm just going to get one. Like this time last year when I got Loop Coaster. What I'm sat here now doing is the perfect example. This time last year, I'm like, I'll just get the Loop Coaster. I don't need the rest of the Fairground Collection. All right, past Kev, you liar. Who knew at the time you were lying? To yourself as well, of all the people to lie to. You're lying to yourself and pretending you're not going to have to go and get them all. You idiot. Am I going to sell Terrell Whitaker? That feels like it might be a Football Manager question. Probably. He doesn't play anymore. What's the best advice when it comes to getting money for Lego? Do you just set a part of your income aside? Yeah, I mean, I'm not really the person to ask about that, because on that side of things, we do set a horrible example because we spend way more on Lego than normal people can. And it's because it's our business. This is our job. We spend less on Lego than we make from creating Lego content. So we're in a very fortunate position of basically, within reason, being able to spend as much as we want on Lego, because our bills are paid by the Football Manager channel, and then this channel is basically, the idea is it just funds itself, and then eventually it'll get to the point where we don't need to keep buying so much Lego, and we've used buying the Lego to build the channel up to the point where it can then become a nice little income source as well, rather than just a self-funding thing. I haven't run the numbers for this year yet. I'm obviously going to have to soon because the tax man will come a-knocking. But I think we probably still have spent in fact this year, because of Football Manager being delayed, we've spent way less on Lego than we've made from this channel. So yeah, I guess to that point, we are setting aside a portion of our income. If I still had a normal person job, it would be like any other hobby. It would be a budget that I would set for myself. And I can imagine it would be quite hard because it's a very, very expensive hobby. But yeah, set a budget and don't vary from it. Know that it's a marathon, not a sprint. Lego's not going anywhere. It's not like fad of the week. If you're 30 now, for example, you can still be buying Lego sets in 50 years' time. And even if you're only buying 2 or 3 a year, do that for the next 50 years and you're going to need a warehouse to keep them all in. So it's a long-term hobby. Just make sure you stay within your means on it. What's my Lego budget? We don't really have a set budget. It is very much a case of we only reinvest the money we make. So we don't spend more on Lego than we make from Lego content, which has been the rule from the start. I mean, for full transparency, we started the channel when we got a £5,000 tax rebate. We got £5,000 back from the tax man, and we were like, shall we book a holiday or should we buy a ton of Lego? And we were like, we'll buy a ton of Lego. So we bought £5,000 worth of Lego over the course of a couple of months, very deliberately targeted with a view to starting this channel. It wasn't just a splurge. And we were like, right, well, we're never going to put another penny of our own money into this. We'll put that initial £5,000 seed money in. And then every penny we spend on Lego from then on is going to be generated by the content. And that's the rule we still stick to. So as the channel grows, the budget grows, which is why the channel's had a good year. So we were able to have a crazy Insiders weekend like the one we've just had. It's not a non-profit. Like I say, we still make a profit. That's just the limit on what we'll spend. We won't spend more than it makes. And plus, it's all part of the same company. So it's the same company owns all of our channels. It's not split into different companies. So the company as a whole makes a profit and pays our bills. Right, we now need to link all of this together. Are we supposed to be putting all of these on? Or is there a specific way we're supposed to be doing this? Oh God, there's a specific way. I don't think this is just supposed to be willy-nilly. Right, well hold on then, have I put that in the right place? Let's try and orient this correctly. And not do that. I feel like there's going to be some catastrophes as we put this together. Right, so I don't even know. what way round this is. Does it matter? I think it's identical in all directions. I don't think it actually matters. I hope. What's the other channel called? We've got one called Lalujo. We've got one called Kevin Chapman. And they've got various side channels within them as well. We've been doing this a long time. There's a lot of channel out there. When did this set retire? I'm not sure off the top of my head. A little while ago now. Right. I'm sure one of you could look that up while I'm trying not to have a catastrophe with it. It only matters if you suffer from OCD, which I do not. It's so big. And I thought the Captain's shield was fragile. I would like to think that once it's all connected together, it will be less fragile than this. It just feels very fragile at the moment because it's not connected together yet. So fingers crossed, once it's all properly in place, it'll have a bit of oomph to it, is my hope. We like a bit of oomph. Right, and then we need 2 more things for each one, so 4 more in total. Don't break, you silly goose. Am I going to motorise it? Yes, I am. Not tonight, because the motor's on its way. I've ordered the motor. But yeah, definitely I'll be motorising it. Well, I was reading about it on the internet, and apparently it runs really fast. So I might need to customise the motorisation of it a little bit. So I don't want it spinning around like a maniac. I want it going at a sensible speed for a Ferris wheel. December 2018, there we go. So it's been retired a while. Modulars aside, it's one of my oldest sets then, in terms of retirement date. I didn't realise it was quite that long. It does demonstrate that sets don't all guarantee to shoot up in value when they retire either, even really cool ones like this, because like I say, this was 209 for a complete reverse bagged set. I don't know how much it was originally, but I do know if this released today, it would be 400 quid without question. Am I going to put lights on it? No, I'm not. If I weren't a content creator, what would I be? Well, before I became a content creator, I was a teacher. I left teaching to do this full time. I did the 2 of them together for like 2 years when I was first starting out. So I guess there's a good chance I'd still be a teacher. But who knows though, that was a long time ago now. The reason I went into teaching in the first place is because I got divorced and wanted to have the school holidays off to be able to have my kids. Well, my kids are both adults now. So I don't know, like teaching was never the dream. It wasn't the vocation. It was the means to the end. It was a way to get the school holidays off of work. So whether I would still be teaching now, who knows? That being said, I do quite like the idea of getting back into teaching at some point. Not necessarily school, but I quite like the idea of maybe doing some university lecturing, college lecturing. More to do with what I've been doing for work for a long time now. I think it'd be quite cool to do. I mean, there's courses out there about social media and digital marketing and stuff that I've got lots of real lived experience in now, that I think could be quite fun as a thing to branch out into at some point. It's not something I'm rushing into anytime soon, but it's certainly something I've considered looking into as I get older, because with me being one of that older generation of YouTubers, I mean, although I wasn't there with that first wave, I'm the same age as most of them. Early 40s. There's going to come a point where people just don't care anymore and we're not relevant because we're too old. And luckily, haven't hit that point yet, but I'm not naive enough to think I'm going to be able to do this until I'm 70. I don't know how many people are going to want to watch a doddery old man play a computer game or build his Lego. There might be room for it as a side hustle, as a little novelty of, oh, it's that cute old man who likes to play with his Lego. But I don't think we're going to get like people watching regularly because they actively enjoy the content at that point. Maybe we will, who knows? I've heard a rumour that we're getting more Lego Simpsons. That would be cool. I mean, it certainly did well this year, so I wouldn't be surprised. Everton player got sent off for slapping his teammate. How does that even work? I mean, it works for me because I've got 3 Man United players in my FPL team this week. I did a free hit this week because half my team got injured. So I'm well behind in the Football Manager FPL League this weekend currently. But I'm relying on my threesome from Man United to have a good night tonight. So Everton going down to 10 men isn't a bad thing for me. He was a fantastic teacher according to my daughter. Oh. Oh. What a nice thing to say. I'd love to teach if the school system didn't suck here. Yeah, I don't know where here is. I mean, teaching's a difficult one. It's such an intense job for a relatively low income. I mean, it's by no means minimum wage, but it's also by no means a 40-hour-a-week thing either. I think for the time you have to put in, I don't think it's paid. I don't think it pays anywhere near enough. So it is quite hard to retain people. It's one of those frustrating industries, and it's frustrating to even call it an industry. But obviously, it's 2025. Everything's a business. But it's one of those things that naturally struggles to retain the best people, because if they're the best people, they could probably earn a lot more money doing something else. And that's the battle that teaching always faces. Unless you are an absolutely born to do it, it's all I ever wanted, teaching is my dream kind of teacher, and there aren't that many of them. If it's only a job, a lot of people only do it for as long as it takes for them to find a better job, whether that's a job that pays more, or a job that they enjoy more, or a job where they can work less for the same money. It's only the ones that absolutely love it and can't dream of doing anything else that stick with it long term. And that is not ideal. Now we're older, man. Have you ever used algebra? No. But I think sometimes people are a little bit too literal with using something. So yeah, I've never found myself needing to use algebra in my adult life. However, there have been a gazillion situations where I've needed to problem solve. So although I've not necessarily used the specific stuff that the exam system teaches you to memorize, and I don't remember any of it, and yeah, that specific thing I don't need to be able to do. But what I also learned as part of that was how to solve problems and how to think logically. And it's a much more abstract thing that's harder to realize that's what you're doing at the time. Like, I don't use my degree at all in my work. I've got a degree in computer science. I can't remember how to program. I haven't done any coding for 10 years, if not longer. I don't remember how to do it. If I wanted to get into programming now, and I finished top of my year, first class honours degree. I was very good at it, but I don't remember any of it now. So some would argue that means my degree was a waste of time because I'm not using it. I would argue, yeah, I'm not using the specific thing that my degree was in. However, I am using the skills I learnt to do that degree every day, because it improved my communication, the amount of presentations we had to do, the amount of written work that we had to do. Again, the amount of problem solving and critical thinking. And they're the things that I do use every day that I learnt to do at university. So I don't think I would be able to do this without, I think everything I've done in my life has made me better at this. The degree made me better. Being a teacher made me better. So although, yeah, I don't use algebra in my day-to-day life, if I'd have never learned algebra, my day-to-day life would have been more difficult. So, yeah. You're using it more than you realise, even if you're not specifically using it. Right, how does this bit go on then? That goes in there. I don't know why we had to leave the gaps and put these in last. I'm sure there's a good reason, I just don't know what it is. Right, we have a complete circle on that one. And then to complete the circle on this one as well. Oh crumbs, am I doing this the wrong way up? Because it's got an extra bit on this. No, that is supposed to be facing down. Okay. We're good. Worry not, boys and girls. How are you keeping these days? What are you doing with yourself these days? How are you keeping these days? Good. I've used algebra. Excel documents use algebra concepts for data management. There you go. I've always found people who really wanted to teach aren't that good at it, but the people who fell into it for other reasons end up really good. I know some people who really wanted it who were really good at it. I think just like with anything in life, there's going to be people who are good at it and people who aren't good at it, and you'll get both people from both of those groups. All right, we need like 12 of these now. I do think there's a lot to be said for teachers having some real world experience before they become teachers. I think the people who sometimes struggle the most with not necessarily the classroom teaching, because they can be very good at the classroom teaching, but everything that comes alongside it, I think the ones who often struggle the most with teaching are the ones who've never been out of an education environment. So they've gone school, university, back to school, and they've never had a real job. They've never been in the real world. I've told this story before about how, because I worked in industry for 10 years before going into teaching, so I was used to the real world. So when I first got into teaching, there was a couple of actual like proper formal complaints put in about me by my fellow teachers for me being too direct and too direct in emails and too like matter of fact, business like, not giving it all the please and the thank you and I hope you don't mind nonsense. Part of that is I'm autistic. I don't do that stuff anyway. But part of it is because in business, you just do the email. You don't do all the waffle. And it did have to be explained to me that there are people who need the waffle because it's all they've known. They don't know work. They only know school. And you often find those are the ones who get caught up in the workplace politics and all end up banging each other and it all goes off the rails a little bit. Is the gumball machine a bang for your buck? I guess it depends if you like minifigures. If you like minifigures, it's great. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I don't know that it's worth £150 because I think a lot of that value is lost in minifigures and I'm not hugely into minifigures. We are running out of pieces here. We are getting to the end of this bag, I think. Do I still keep in touch with many of my previous colleagues? Not really. Again, autism things. I'm not very good at keeping in touch with anybody. I'm no longer in touch with anybody I went to school with. I'm only in touch with one person I went to uni with, and that's because it's Sheepdog and he's also autistic, and we do a podcast together, which we've been doing for the last 15 years. And I think if we didn't do the podcast together, I imagine we wouldn't have spoken for years, because neither of us would have thought to keep in touch with the other one. And yeah, I don't know. There's one or two people who turn up in the streams occasionally who I used to work with. Anyone who watches my Twitch streams will be familiar with Smoothman, who I used to work with when I was a teacher, but I don't remember the last time I spoke to him outside of him being in my Twitch chat. So that's very much him doing all the work and me doing none of it. And at any point they could be like, well, that was the last time I went in his Twitch stream, and I would never have contact with him again. Because it's just the way I am. It doesn't mean I don't want to. I suffer with, I struggle with what the technical terminology for it is. There's a concept of object impermanence in neurodiversity, where if you can't see a thing or a person, you forget that they exist. I do that. I do that big time. So yeah, if I'm not seeing a person every day, I will forget they exist. Which I'm sure is great for my kids. They must love that. But we can go weeks without me having any contact with my kids. Which I try not to do, but the problem is they're neurodivergent as well. And we'll all just forget. But the advantage is when we do talk, it's like we still live together. And it's just the same as it always was. There's no awkwardness because we've all been guilty of the same thing. And everyone just accepts it's how our relationship is. But neurotypical people don't like that. Look how cool this is. Where did we find Pab? Pab listened to the podcast and came to some of our events and just kind of stuck around. Yeah, Pab just kind of latched on to us. I think we used to go to, like how I now go to a lot of Lego conventions. There used to be a lot of gaming conventions, and we used to go to gaming conventions all over the place. I think we went to one up in Manchester, and Pab was just there, and we got on with him. And then we hosted some of our own conventions for a little while, the MGPX, where we would have a load of people around and we'd play a bunch of games. We'd like book out the back room of a pub, and Pab would always come to those. And he just kind of became someone who was always there whenever we did anything. And then we lost the guy who was the third wheel in our podcast. He decided he didn't want to do it anymore. And we had a month or two of having guest listeners on as like the third person or the fourth person. Although Anna wasn't on regularly at that point either. So we'd have different people come on and do like a guest appearance co-hosting thing, and Pab did it and fitted in really well, so we did it again. And then yeah, he's been doing it for like probably 10 years at this point. But yeah, he just came out of being a podcast listener. And there's the other one. I'm not watching I'm a Celeb, no. I don't like that. Well, I say I don't like it. I've never seen it. I've got no interest in reality TV. I'm babysat by my stalker, yeah. I mean, Anna listened to the podcast before she ever met us. So Anna's another stalker. Right, I think this has already had that piece put in. Yeah, they've already had those put in. Your autism is like out of sight, out of mind sort of thing. Yeah, definitely. And unless you get it, people get upset about that kind of thing. With good reason. I mean, it's fair to be upset about that, but yeah, it's not many people have put up with it over the years. It's fair to say. All right, how does this go in? Right, I need a bigger table. So this, let's try not to break this by poking this in. Right, so that's on that side, and then we need another one on this side. And now we turn it over, and we've got one of these rascals to go under there. So we need this one back. And pop a rascal on there as well. And then I think we're almost at the point where it gets mounted onto the frame. Maybe. Yeah, we're closing in on that. Right, so we need to be this way up. And we need these. Just popped in to say hi, watching all the time, thanks from Australia. PS, thanks to you converting my garage into a Lego city. That's awesome, you're welcome. You now have a cool garage. Have I got the iPhone 17? I've just got it like last week. I got my new phone. So yes, it's very snazzy. Right, I'm just trying to work out if it matters how this goes. Ah, right, it goes in line with those bits. So where we've got those, it goes, Ah, Kevin, you little onion-shaped rascal. Then do another one of those. Should I get Tudor Corner? Yes. Favourite modular of all time? Probably Tudor Corner. It's a great set. Glad to see you're able to get the wheel. I got mine second hand for a bargain. Love the build. Yeah, it's a very cool set. I am also in the second hand bargain crew. So that one goes on there. Right, we now need 6 of these. Is it worth getting diagnosed for autism as an adult? I've done the pre-test which shows I'm highly likely on the spectrum, and listening to you I have many of the same characteristics. It depends on why you would want to, really. Do you think it would benefit you to understand yourself a little bit better? Would it benefit you to be able to tell people that's why you are the way you are? Would it allow you to get access to support that you might need, whether that's at work or like benefits or something like that? Or even silly little things like, do you find yourself avoiding certain kinds of event because you don't like to queue or you don't like loud noises? There's lots of beneficial reasons, but you have to kind of know how and why it would help you. Maybe look into it. Like for me, it's helped my brain to understand. Now I understand some of the things that have happened in my life and why they've happened and why I am the way that I am. And to me, it's been very beneficial to learn more about myself. And then on the flip side of it, I've been able to get a fast access pass, which means I don't have to queue up at Legoland anymore, which is also ace. But that shouldn't be your only motivation for doing it. Right, this bit's complicated. I'm not sure how best to do this, because I've got to connect all of these points together at the same time, which is challenging. This is absurd. How are you supposed to do this? I need extra hands. Ah! Because that's going to happen. Oh, crumbs. Oh, crumbs. It's all coming apart. It's all going wrong. I think it's all fine. Are they all in? Ah, no, that one's not. I think. Hey, that's so cool. Look at that. It's all in. That's really cool. Right, I assume I now attach this to the other bit, do I? Oh god, no, I'm still doing stuff down here. Oh, there's still 12 more things to put on. Okay. I should have 12 of these little jobbies. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right. So I assume it's just one in each of these bits. And we're just going all the way around. Slapping this in. Ah! Knocked my tree down again. The tree's going to have to go over there for a minute. While I get all of my bits in. It is huge, isn't it? It's mad. It's going to look so cool in the city. But it is enormous. I can't wait to motorize it. And there. It's given me a newfound respect for travelling fairs who managed to set these up on the fly. I assume they're part built when they put them in their truck. And they're not sat there in a field doing all of this. Even better now. And then we've got a load of reflective bits now, which go on both sides. So where do they go? Are they the same colour? Oh, hello. I've got different coloured and different sized pieces here, I think. Oh, crumb knuckles. Right, so these big ones, crumbs. The big ones go on the pieces that don't have the yellow bits on. Okay. And they go on both sides. Is Anna okay? Yeah, Anna's fine. She's working on a different project this evening that you will see in a few days. It's a very busy time of the year for us, really. This is the first time we've gone into a Black Friday as like properly established Lego content creators, and we've had a lot of brands reach out about us for brand work, which is obviously good for us, good for the company, but it does mean there's a few bits that have to be put together quite last minute, and Anna is downstairs putting together an alternate brick brand set for a video that we're putting out by the end of the week, ideally, for Black Friday. So she's busy with that. I will be Mills plating it. I haven't Mills plated it yet, but I will be Mills plating it. It feels like it's easy enough to do after the fact, because it's basically on a 48 by 48 base as it is. So it will be pretty easy to stick on a Mills plate. So I will be. The reason I didn't do it in advance, firstly, I didn't have a big base plate here at home, one of the big 48 by 48s. And secondly, I didn't know if it could be a full Mills plate or if some of the mechanism, because there's gaps in the plate underneath it. So once it's all fully up and running, I'll examine and just check that it will actually fit fully onto a Mills plate, or if it'll have to be a slightly modified one. But yeah, it's going to be pretty straightforward to do, I think. I'm certainly going to be... That's not ideal. I'll certainly be putting it on a Mills plate before it gets transported to the city. Has that reconnected properly? Yes, that would have been a disaster. Don't hold it by that part. It's my tip for the day. Do you sort the tax out for the company or pay an accountant? I pay an accountant. And I would recommend anyone who's thinking of going self-employed, get an accountant sooner than you think you need one. We held off on having an accountant for a long time until one year we got a £50,000 tax bill, which we later found out, if we'd have structured the business properly, and ironically we didn't put enough stuff through as business expenses. If we'd have capitalised on all the allowances and expenses we could have had and structured the business differently, it could have been like 18 grand, but we had to pay it because you can't do that stuff after the fact. But yeah, that was the sign for us that, okay, we need an accountant. And he's saved us way more than he costs. So yeah, I would definitely recommend to anyone who wants to be self-employed, get an accountant way before you think you need one. Right, so now we just have to attach this to this. Just have to do that, he says. Which is easier said than done. Oh my word, it's much easier said than done. Oh, crumbs, it's all coming apart there now. Why is that not going in? There we go. Oh, that was stressful for a minute there. Right, so I think we've now got, so there's that. I don't really know how these bits are supposed to connect, because they don't really, unless we're supposed to push that. Oh, what's fallen off there? No! Don't fall off. I don't even know where you came from. Oh, we've messed that up as well. We've messed everything up. It's all gone wrong. Where did that go? Where were you from? There, I think. So how does this bit attach? So the wheel bit is kind of there. It doesn't seem like it's got enough grip. I guess that's something that gets addressed later on somehow. I assume it grips in. I don't know why I'm desperately trying to get it working now, but I assume there is a way for that to grip in. Corner of the rail on the stairs, Kev. I don't know what you mean. This tree's come down as well. Would look good with lights. Balls to lights. I don't even know how you'd get lights on it. We still need to put all the little carriages on, so we're going to do that as well. But yeah, that bit doesn't... But that bit does push in. So once that's pushed in, it does do it like, if we hold that in, so there must be a way that that gets held in. We'll figure it out. We'll finish what we're doing. We'll finish the whole thing, and then if it doesn't work then I'll panic. There's a chance I've missed an important step. Oh, I have. There's little elastic bands. I haven't seen them anywhere. Oh, crumbs. I wonder if they've been put in, or if we're going to be elastic bandless. This is the big test of Bricktraders. because I would completely forgive them if they hadn't put the little elastic bands in, because I don't think they're even on the parts list. Oh, they are. No excuses. They need to be in there. Right. First up, we're going to do the last couple of minifigures. Pop that over there. Then we've just got the final bag. It will be a big showpiece in the city. That was the whole point. That was why I wanted it, because I thought it would look cool. I think anyone who had any doubts about theme park stuff, I think this will deal with any doubts anyone had. It demonstrates the dream, the goal, way better than me describing it over and over again does. So when you're watching the video that's coming out tomorrow and I'm trying to convince you it's a good idea, just remember this is going to be part of it, and it's going to look very, very cool. Right, so they're the minifigures, and we just have bag 4, which is quite a sizable bag still, but much smaller than the other one. This is the next hour of my life, making a little dangle carriages, I suspect. Right, so it's 4 of each colour, is that right? We need to get a production line going. It is literally 4 of each colour. So, how many am I going to do at once? We'll do one at a time for now. I see a rubber band in that pile. Good eye. Yeah, so that's going to solve that problem. So I wanted it to be moving too soon. It didn't need to move that soon. So the rubber bands are there, so we will get it all up and running. It will be working tonight, which is jolly fine news, if you ask me, which I think most of you did. Right, so we need 12 of those. So let's do that stage 12 times. Da, 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 da. Have you ever thought of trying stand-up comedy, Kev? Yeah, I have. I don't think I'd enjoy it. I think I prefer this because I get to do this from the comfort of my house. And I know some people who've done stand-up comedy, and it's the kind of thing that you can't do kind of half on, half off. You have to completely commit yourself to it, and I'm happy doing this. I think I probably make more money doing this than I would in my first 10 years of comedy, and I'm too old to start again. I leave for an hour and look at that. It's pretty impressive, isn't it? It's very cool. It will be amongst the biggest sets in the city. Yeah, the whole of the theme park area is going to have big, impressive, imposing sets like this. We're going to have a whole really cool skyline. This is why all those times when I was like, I've got to have a theme park in there, and people have been like, you don't need a theme park. A theme park's not going to... You're better off having more modulars. You're telling me a little modular building is more impressive than this bad boy, motorised, just in the background of the city. This is so cool. I wish they would do more Fairground Collection sets. They haven't done one since the Loop Coaster, but it's such a great little sub-theme. They did one every couple of years for like 15 years. But then Loop Coaster was the last one. Retired a year ago now. And we haven't had a new one, which makes me think it might be done, which would be a shame. But then I guess what other rides do they need to do? What rides are there that haven't already been done? So I guess we don't need a third big roller coaster. What else is there? Not only that, but you own most of the modulars now. Yeah, exactly. I need more coasters. I mean, I guess, yeah, I'm saying we don't need one. If they released another massive Fairground Collection size roller coaster, I would 100% buy it. I'm not so, if anyone from Lego's watching, I'm not saying I don't want that. I mean, something like a ghost train would be cool, maybe. What do you get at the fair that we haven't had? Something like a ghost train, or the bumper cars. I don't know how you would do that, because the thing about the Fairground Collection is they were all motorizable. So you could get them all properly, and I don't know how you do that with bumper cars. Log flume would be awesome. Yeah, log flume would be cool. So there are some rides they could do. People need to get these on Lego Ideas. Get this theme up and running again. Was this pricey? Not as much as you would expect. It was £209 for a used one, but it's like used, renovated. All the iffy pieces were replaced. It was from Bricktraders. They also gave me a nice little discount on it as well, so I didn't actually pay as much as that. But yeah, I'm very happy with it. We need a Lego drop tower. Well, that's basically what the haunted house is. The haunted house is a drop tower. Yeah, waltzers could work, definitely. Waltzers would be cool. You'll hate me if I told you how much I paid for my wheel and my carousel. Yeah, probably. I'm happy though. Remember, I'm coming from collecting the modulars, so getting anything anywhere near original price, I'm pretty happy. I paid less for this set that came out 10 years ago than I paid for the loop coaster this time last year. So I'm not going to be too upset. And because I got this and the mixer at the same time and a few other bits, and I was there making a video, I got a pretty juicy discount as well. So I did okay. I don't think it would have been possible for me to find my little haul from Bricktraders. I don't think I could have got that any cheaper anywhere else. Even scouring eBay, and obviously then you have no guarantees of condition or anything like that. Would have a big Thunder Mountain in Lego. Yeah, I mean, if they could get the Disney licensed stuff and do some Disney licensed rides, give me Small World, thank you. Let me build an entire Disneyland. There we go. How many modular buildings am I missing now? 4. 2 of which I'm never going to get. I'll just have to part them out. And the other 2 I hope to get relatively soon. Yes, a swinging pirate ship is a great shout. That feels like such an obvious one for Lego as well. I might buy the Black Pearl and make my own. I mean, I've got loads of pirate ships up there. I could do the mechanism myself. Maybe I should do a mock and take it to Bricktastic. But yeah, I'd love an It's a Small World set, but it would need the music. It wouldn't be the same without the excellent song that we all love so much. because we're on the 12th one of these now, finding the last couple of pieces in amongst all of this becomes a challenge. Come on, you little turtle, where are you? No, we need one of those, so we'll keep that to one side. I might just pop this one to one side and we'll come back to it, because I can't see the pieces and there's no point sorting through, because when I've done the next step there'll be far less Lego in front of me. What days are we planning to be in Chicago? I don't know. It's very loose plans at the moment. It would be nice to do, but we haven't really started planning it properly, kind of thing, is the stage it's at currently. We'd probably look to do the week there around Brickworld. So loosely that week. Probably a few days either side of the convention would be the ideal plan, but there's no guarantee we even do it yet. A lot depends on how everything works out over the course of the year. It's definitely a we want to do it trip, and we had it earmarked for this year, but then Paddy came to us with the idea of doing Florida as well, and we'd love to do both. Not sure it's completely realistic to do both. We'll have to see how the year pans out. The hotel's all booked up, so you have to stay off site. Oh, we would have stayed off site anyway. Yeah, we wouldn't want to stay at the event. It would very much be we'd be there for Chicago. And we'll do Brickworld while we're there, one day. It wouldn't be a case of spending an entire weekend. Like when we did Bricktastic last year, we only did half a day in the event. As much as I love Lego conventions, my little autistic brain can only cope with so much social time before I have to go and hide away and do something else. So yeah, one day in the convention, I'm sure will be plenty. I'll get some nice content out of it, justify the entire trip, and then we'll go looking for CM Punk. Who I assume just hangs around the streets of Chicago. Question, what two modulars are you never going to get? Oh, Greengrocer and Market Street. They're too expensive. Same as Cafe Corner. Like, we don't have an official Cafe Corner. I bought a load of parts and made an updated version of Cafe Corner that I got off of Rebrickable. We'll do that same thing with Market Street and Greengrocer. As much as I love the modulars, I have got no interest in paying like £800,000-900,000 for one little building. It's the same reason I won't ever get the Ghostbusters Firehouse unless I find it on a mega super duper deal. The sets are cool, but they're cool within reason. The most expensive Lego set I've ever bought for me is still the Avengers Tower. I would be very uncomfortable spending more than that money, I think. I think that's just about my maximum. A Lego set has to be truly phenomenal for me to spend more than £500 on it. And such a Lego set does not currently exist for me. Another Lego ride, but a Lego wonky chocolate bar with 5 sets. Yeah? What, like a Willy Wonka ride? Yeah, that would be cool. Why are they so much more expensive? Because they were the first ones, the early ones. Those first 3 are mega, mega, mega expensive. people hadn't started hoarding them. People hadn't realised it was going to be a big thing to collect, and they weren't available for as long. But oh yeah, I say such a set doesn't exist yet. That Pokemon 3-pack I will be getting, because I'm a huge Pokemon guy. So that will be my set. That £600 launch day Pokemon set. That'll be my most expensive set ever. But that'll hurt, I suspect. But I do love Pokemon, so I'm more comfortable doing that than spending the money on a 2,000 piece house. Or in the case of is it Greengrocer, that's like half a modular, or Market Street, I forget which one's which. It better be all 3 forms. It's not all 3 forms. It'll be, I mean, it's not announced what it's going to be yet. It's going to be 3 models. It's not going to be 9 models. It's going to be the 3 original starters. It's Pokemon. People are going to spend the money. People are nuts for Pokemon. It's the biggest media franchise in the world for a reason. People think Star Wars folk are bonkers. Lego folk and Star Wars folk haven't seen anything if they've not come across the Pokemon people before. Pokemon people are a whole new level. And I'm not sure Lego's ready for it. What's in the boxes? I don't know specifically. It's part of my order from Insiders Weekend. Once the whole order is here, I will do a haul. There you go. I can find the extra pieces that I needed for this now. There'll be a haul video once it's all here, but one of them hasn't even been dispatched yet. Gringotts is still sat in a warehouse. So it probably won't be until the end of the week that I do the haul video. But I just want to do it all in one go. We're all waiting for the gift with purchase Pokemon card available for 1 week only. I don't think they're dumb enough to include cards. If they include cards, there's going to be riots. As a man who has bought and sold a lot of Pokemon cards over the years, I want no part of Pokemon cards being involved in Lego. Lego's veering too close towards scalping as it is. We don't need Pokemon cards getting involved, and more importantly, Pokemon card people. Pokemon card people, and again, I include myself in this number, they are the worst. Does Andy like Lego? Not really. Alright, so that's the 12 of those. And now they each need little side pieces. As a man who also collected Pokemon cards, I'm so glad I collect Lego now. Yes, Pokemon does make Lego look cheap. Completely agree. Yeah, I had some very expensive Pokemon launch days. And because you know it's all going to sell out immediately and never come back, it really does force you into spending more than you planned on spending. Yeah, that's why I ultimately packed Pokemon in, because it just got too intense on the FOMO, and the prices got so high. It kind of got to the point where, okay, the prices are now so high, I'm afraid to open these packs that I've bought because they're going to lose all their value when I do. There's no way the contents of the packs are going to be the same value as the packs themselves. So I got myself in this absurd situation where I had the cupboard under our stairs was just full of boxed Pokemon products. And it's like, there's 10 grams worth of boxed Pokemon cards in here. What's the point? I'm not getting any pleasure out of them because I can't open them. I can't like put them in a binder. I can't play with them because the moment I take the plastic off the packaging, most of their value goes. So why am I doing this? Why am I just storing boxes full of cardboard I'm never going to see? And that moment was the moment I stopped collecting Pokemon cards and just sold it all and used the money to buy Lego. Have you ever disassembled a set and sold it? No. I get what people say about this set being quite repetitive to build, but it's quite nice for, I don't mind that. I think it's quite a nice way to unplug my brain. Like doing 12 of these same things, I'm not needing to constantly look at the instructions because I know what I'm doing 12 times. I just keep doing it and it's quite nice. I've got my little production line going. It's fun. Knowing you have more boxes of cards unopened, but the chance of getting a card worth even half the box is so slim made it an easy switch. Yeah, exactly. And I kind of lost sight of why I was collecting the cards in the first place. I started collecting Pokemon cards because I loved Pokemon and I enjoyed playing the card game. But it very quickly got to the point where like I was doing box breaks online and stuff, which was also fun. But then when it got to the point of, okay, the only time I'm ever doing box breaks is online and they're not cards for me. Like I would sell the packs and do live box breaks and do that whole thing. And it was fine and it did okay financially, but I wasn't ever opening any cards for me. And it just kind of lost its magic after a while. Whereas with Lego, it's all mine and I get to play with it. And there are few things as pleasurable in life as walking into that storage unit and seeing that enormous Lego collection looking back at me. It's so cool. And I just never got that with Pokemon cards. We're getting to that point again where there's only a couple of each piece left because they're nearly done, so they're becoming a little bit harder to find as we do the 12th little basket. Once again, we will leave you there and we will come back to you and finish you when the pieces are easier to find. Right, now we're going to do some green. Green one first. Green. There's a whole criminal gangs that run on Pokemon cards, theft and reselling here. That's what I mean, we don't want that entering into Lego. Lego's beautiful and pure for now. That's why I moan about the scalping stuff and the gift with purchase practices we see sometimes. Because I don't want Lego to be ruined. Here's a slightly deeper question. As a man who's riddled with ADHD, diagnosed, I find Lego a great help with my neurospicy side. Would you say Lego is a great help towards things such as autism and ADHD? Absolutely. I've said many times that Lego, like different neurodiverse brains will get different things out of different aspects of Lego. But for me, as an autistic man, sitting here just following instructions and not thinking, it's the only time my brain shuts off. And I just get into this little instruction following loop. And it's so structured and logical, it's awesome. And Anna's still awaiting her ADHD diagnosis, but everyone she's spoken to is pretty confident she has ADHD. She says the same thing. It's the only thing she can concentrate on for hours at a time. Like, she has literally spent all day building this set she's building at the moment. There is not another activity in the world, aside maybe from video games, that Anna could spend an entire day on. So yeah, it's great for neurodivergent folk. It's that constant little dopamine hit of completing a bag, completing a step, completing a set, whatever it might be. It's just a really satisfying short feedback loop for Anna. Whereas for me, I just love following instructions. But I don't like following instructions that people give me. I'm terrible at being managed. But you give me a procedure to follow and a set of rules. Oh God, I love a set of rules. Oh. Brains are silly. Right, come on, where's this last piece? There's one of these little white pieces. It doesn't help that we're on a white table. Trying to find one white piece amongst a sea of other white pieces. There it is. This is the last purple one, isn't it? Yeah. I'm a train driver and suffered a fatality. During my recovery, I told my therapist that Lego is a great way to let your mind focus and get over trauma. Yeah, I see a lot of that online. Oh dear. Lee, I think I might have missed what you've been talking about. So you've ordered the Disney castle and it's not come. Is that what I'm seeing there? That is rubbish. Right, now we're doing the little doors. Lovely little doors. Lovely little doors. Lovely little doors. My Hogwarts Express station hadn't been dispatched yet. Apparently there's delays. I assume... I mean, I obviously need to check my boxes as soon as I arrive because there's been so much going on. I know my Gringotts hasn't been dispatched yet. But theoretically everything else has been, but obviously I need to properly check the boxes. Especially for those bits that are Christmas presents. It's less of an issue if it's just stuff I've bought for myself because I can just buy it another time. But stuff I've got for Christmas presents, obviously, ideally needs to be here so I can, you know, give those gifts at Christmas. Right, second one of those. How many of these? Right, so we've got two more sets of doors in green. I know how you feel with Gringotts. My Bricklink Transylvania set was sitting at the warehouse. I would recommend that if it isn't here soon, I'd recommend giving them a call. Oh, I'm not calling them. Not a chance. I'm sure they'll send it. I'd rather they cancelled it than me have to make a phone call. I'll get it at some point. I'm sure it's coming. I imagine they're just very busy. Perhaps they got fed up of printing boxes with my name on. Ran out of Chapman stickers to put on stuff. Yeah, the fact that I've already received some today is much faster than I was expecting, and the majority of the rest of it is coming tomorrow. I was telling everyone, don't expect it within a week. They're really busy. So if it turns out that the only one I have to wait a little bit for is Gringotts, then so be it. The fact the rest has come as quickly as it has is still bonkers. Right, that's all the green ones. Let's get the purples done now. My Disney Castle's coming tomorrow. Lovely stuff. And it seems, looking at the dispatch notices, I am getting all the gifts of purchase as well, which a few people, I think they were talking about it on Discord, maybe in the comments of some of our videos, talking about how some people were getting their orders cancelled if they ordered like multiple orders to get lots of gifts of purchases, but I think we're getting them all. They're all on the receipts. So everyone I know is getting a hot chocolate stand or a mini castle for their Christmas present this year. They're going to be some stocking fillers. Yeah, the delivery times in general have been mad though. Like you say, it's not unusual for it to take a week for a normal Lego order to arrive. So for these ones, when you expect them to be particularly busy, for them to arrive as quickly as they are, it shows they've put that extra effort into getting stuff dispatched as soon as they can, so they don't get swamped in orders. They're a good company, aren't they, these Lego rascals? They know what they're doing. Right, that goes on there. Right, so, oh no, still one more purple. One more purple. And then we just have the yellow ones to do, and then I think you just put the little umbrellas on, get them up there, and we're done. When I said at the start of the stream we could get done tonight, I thought I was being ambitious, but I think we are going to get done tonight. And it has been a lot of fun. What a great set. I get my insiders tomorrow. I bet the wife's Black Friday enterprise takes over a week to arrive just so she can moan at me. Yeah. Oh yeah, and she'll be convinced. Oh well, you obviously got express delivery for yours, didn't you? No, I didn't. It's not my fault. I'm glad my set's dispatched because I can use my points for the enterprise on Friday. Yeah, I was hoping to use because I used up, I think I showed in the video, getting the little space insiders reward left me with 14 points on my insiders account, and I really wanted that little bag that they had on there for like 500 points. By the time my set's dispatched, unfortunately, it had sold out because it was a really good deal. But somewhere in amongst all these boxes should be my space insiders reward, and once everything's dispatched I'll know exactly how many points I've got. But at the moment, with Gringotts having not dispatched, there's £165 worth of insiders points on my account now, so Gringotts should be another, what, £30 worth. So we're almost at the point where assuming the modular is the same price it normally is, I should get almost a free modular in January, the new modular, off the back of the points from Insiders Weekend, which is cool. If I can save them that long, I might just buy a load of hats off of the Insiders Rewards page. I do like a hat. Is the Birmingham Lego shop decent? If you've been there, I'm going down there soon, but not sure if it's any good. Yeah, there's two. There's one at the Legoland Discovery Centre, which has some of the Legoland exclusive stuff that you won't find anywhere else. I've put that in the wrong place. And then the city centre one is it's a big store. It's not quite flagship size, but I don't know what other stores you've been in. Size wise, it's equivalent to like the big Manchester one, or maybe like the big Westfield London, not Westfield Stratford, the proper Westfield. That one's quite a big one, or the Blue Water one is quite big as well. It's a big store. It's not one of these little stores that you get. Have I been to any conventions recently? No, I was going to be going to one this Sunday, but I don't think I am, because it looks like I am going to a football match. I've been invited. Again, brands are really after me at the moment, and it looks like I am going with a brand who will remain nameless for now in case it falls through, but I should be going to Chelsea versus Arsenal at the weekend, which I've not been to a Premier League, well, I've not been to an Arsenal match for many years. I've been to a few Premier League matches through the YouTube channel, but yeah, it should be very cool. We'll be able to see I saw Arsenal live during the title winning season, which is jolly nice. But yeah, that'll be this Sunday instead of going to the convention I was going to go to. Which I can accept that. That's a pretty good reason. So that we're just sticking all of these little dangle sticks on now. That's arguably better than a convention. I mean, it is if the result goes the right way. If after the way the season's gone, if I go and Arsenal somehow lose, because I think we're going to be sitting in with the Chelsea lot. I'm still waiting for the details to come through, but obviously usually on these brand football package things, I'm probably going to be in with the Chelsea lot. So probably shouldn't go in my Arsenal shirt. But will be absolutely miserable if I have to sit surrounded by Chelsea fans watching them beat Arsenal. That'd be rubbish. Man United are losing 1-0. Well, that's my FPL done for the week then. Potentially for the season. Man United have ruined everything. Aren't Everton down to 10 men as well? That's pathetic. For goodness sake, Manchester United. For goodness sake. When I see them away at Forest in the new year, I always got a spare for Arsenal away. Interesting. Very interesting. I missed out on the line. That's cancelled. It's sold out in a second. I guess you must be in the US. Or anywhere that's not the UK, I guess. I think we were the only place where that didn't happen. I would love, and I know there's no way of accessing this information, I would love to get it though because I'm a nerd. I would love to know if we just had way more stock in the UK or if we just sold way fewer. But nothing had sold out by the time I got up at like 8:30 on Saturday morning. They started to sell out around that time. But yeah, after staying up until midnight, doing all my orders before I went to bed, I sat around for another half hour waiting for something to sell out. Nothing did, so I went to bed, woke up, and they still hadn't. It's bonkers. Last one of these. We've not got many pieces left in front of me now. We're closing in on the finish line. I'm a Liverpool fan. Looks like Arsenal are the title winners this year. Fingers crossed. Been a while. Question is, does Slot last the season? I'm sorry for boring football talk for anyone who doesn't care. But I am interested in a Liverpool fan's perspective. Costco reduced Lego on Black Friday. Mega Tech Leader reduced Dalmatian Puppy. What, is that in the UK or elsewhere? Do I need to make a trip to Costco? Because if Costco have got deals, that kind of makes my mind up about Friday, because I'm in two minds about whether I'm going to go to the Lego store on Friday for the Enterprise launch, because I don't want to buy it. I expect it's going to be really busy, but kind of should make a video, I suppose. But if I can make two videos and get down to Costco as well, because they'll have interesting stuff on. Although Costco on Black Friday sounds like hell. So maybe that's a terrible idea. Bruno just missed a sitter from 6 yards. It's because he knows he's in my FBL team. He did that to spite me. Me and Bruno have got beef. Can't wait to see this all lit up. Not a chance. The days of me adding light kits are well behind me. I will be motorizing it. I will not be lighting it up. I don't even know how you would light it up, because the cables would all get tangled around. So I'd be surprised if there even is a light kit for it. I don't know how that would even work. But yeah, balls to that. Not a chance. Argos have got Pac-Man down to 152. They've done that offer on and off for a little while, haven't they? It is a good deal. It's a great set. Got it on display on our landing, and it is very cool. Right, we've got the 2 elastic bands. Let's put them somewhere I'm not going to lose them, because we need them to make the set work. Currently working on the Dalmatian Puppy set. Is that the big one or the small one? I can't keep up. How many likes would it take to light up this set? Not interested. I don't know that you can. Is there a light kit for it? I just don't know how it would work because of the twisting motion. It would surely, the cables would get tangled, wouldn't they? I don't know how you could, but yeah, I've got no interest in lighting sets up. It takes all the joy out of it for me. Motorizing, I'm well up for. Love motorizing. No lighting, thanks. Amazon has the Milky Way for £110. That is a good deal. Anna loves that set. That's on the wall in our living room. Right, and then we just pop one of these with a little niblet on it. And that goes on the top like that. If Anna was here now, she'd be telling me to mix the colours up, wouldn't she? I can't live in that world. I can't have the colours mixed up. Pac-Man retires next summer as well, does it? I thought that went now, but I said that the other day and someone told me I was wrong. So I don't know if it got moved back or if I just had the wrong date in my head or what. Nearly there. Pac-Man was extended from December to June. Okay. So I wasn't losing my mind. I thought it was going. I don't know why there's a little pretzel piece in this set. I assume we're using it at some point for something, but I feel like we're nearly done. Hang on. How have I done that? Yeah, let's try that again. I went too far onto autopilot mode there. I'm surprised LEGO don't offer their own integrated light kits installed whilst building. Yeah, I just don't think it's something they're interested in doing. I mean, they had the perfect opportunity to do it with the family Christmas tree set. The fact they've not done it with that tells me they're never going to do it, surely. Right, now we need to get all these on and make sure they're all facing the same way. So this open bit goes this way. Okay. Sugar plums. It's a bit flimsy on there, these little tops. Oh my word, that's heavy. Right, let's put that down. Yeah. Does that not go any further? I mean, is it supposed to do that? Maybe we're supposed to shut the doors. We're supposed to shut the doors. Right, so we're going green, then yellow. Then purple. Whoa! And then green. And then yellow. These had some serious weight to it. And then purple. And then doesn't want to go round. Green. And then yellow. And then purple. Whee. And then green. And yellow. And purple. And then we need to put these elastic bands on. Where are they? They're there. So these then grip the little wheel bit in place. On that side. Oh, fiddly. I don't know why we left this till the end. I'm sure there's a good reason. I guess it wouldn't rotate properly otherwise. Right, so theoretically, this now should... Are you ready? That is absolutely awesome. And then we've got this bit that goes, I guess when we get these in the right spot, this bit can go up so people can get on and off. So we've got 3 little places where they can get on and off. And then also on the back here, you've got this little bit here where you plug the motor on, and it basically automates the spinning of that. But when that's up, oh, there you go, it forces it down. So you just put that on when it's time to load up. And then when you want to keep moving, you can just start going again. Ram it down. There you go. That is awesome. What an incredible set. Can't wait for the motor to arrive now, but look at the size of it. We showed you at the start of the stream the comparison of it next to the upscaled minifigure. Just for some scale. I mean, that is ridiculous. Look at the size of that. It's so big. That is going to be an incredible centerpiece for the city. I like that a lot. I have no idea how I'm going to get it there without it falling apart. But that feels like a problem for future Kev. Boys and girls, we're going to wrap things up there. I don't know why this pretzel piece was in, by the way. We haven't used it. We got a free pretzel piece. There is not a stream this Friday. Me and Anna have got to go out and do something on Friday. So the next stream will be Monday, Cyber Monday, but we might just be looking at a few more deals. But hopefully before then, there'll be another LEGO City update where you see this bad boy be added into the city. We've also got the haul video coming up. There's loads of content planned for the next few days. Yeah, lots of fun stuff on the horizon. But yeah, I am just going to sit here and play with this for the rest of the evening because it's so cool. Boys and girls, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to just spin my wheel and I'll see you again very soon. Toodle pip. Bye bye.